Good morning, great high students. I hope that you are doing well. I miss you guys so much and I hope to see you very soon. In this video, we will start with a new lesson called the long division. Before we start with our new lesson, I would like to remind you of some precautions you have to take. Please frequently clean your hands by using alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. And when you cough or sneeze, please cover your mouth and nose with your flexed elbow or use a tissue, then throw the tissue away immediately and wash your hands. Now, let's start with our lesson. But before we go deep into our lesson, it's very important to understand the basics of division. There are three parts in a division problem. We have the dividend, we have the divisor, and we have the quotient. The number you are dividing is called the dividend. The number you are dividing the dividend by is called the divisor. And the result obtained after you divide is called the quotient. For example, 8 divided by 2 equals to 4. 8 is the dividend, 2 is the divisor, 4 is the quotient. 6 divided by 3 equals to 2. 6 is the dividend, 3 is the divisor, 2 is the quotient. So the first written number is the dividend, the second written number is the divisor, and the final answer is the quotient. This picture shows us the symbol of the long division. So when we have to divide using the long division, we have to use this symbol. Inside the symbol, we write the dividend. Outside the symbol on the left, we write the divisor, while the quotient is written upwards. For example, 8 divided by 4 equals to 2. 8 is the dividend, it's written inside. The divisor, which is 4, is written outside on the left, while the quotient is written upwards. Long division. Long division is as simple as memorizing the people in this family. In this family, we have the dad, the mom, the sister, the brother, and the dog named Rover. Each person represents a step in the long division process. The dad tells us to divide. The mom tells us to multiply. The sister tells us to subtract. The brother tells us to bring down the next digit. And the dog Rover tells us to repeat or to write the remainder. Before we apply any step in the long division process, we have to determine how many digits we should use from the dividend in the first step. We have to compare the divisor with the first digit of the dividend on the left. If the divisor is less than or equal to the first digit of the dividend, we only use one digit from the dividend. For example, 8764 divided by 4. 4, which is the divisor, is less than the first digit of the dividend, which is the 8. So we only take the 8 in the first step. 93 divided by 7. 7 is less than 9, so we only take one digit from the dividend in the first step. 48 divided by 4. The divisor equals to the first digit of the dividend, so we only take one digit from the dividend in the first step. 2. If the divisor is greater than the first digit of the dividend, we use two digits from the dividend in the first step. For example, 231 divided by 3. 3 is greater than 2, so we have to use the 23 in the first step. Another example, 198 divided by 2. 2 is greater than 1. The divisor is greater than the first digit, so I have to use the 19 in the first step. Let's solve this example using the long division. 947 divided by 2. Since the divisor is less than the first digit of the dividend, we should only use one digit from the dividend in the first step. So here we use just the 9 in the first step. Let's apply the first step. Divide. We have to divide the first digit of the dividend by the divisor. So here we divide 9 by 2. Think. how many 2's will fit into 9? Or ask yourself, how many 2's do I need to get 9 or almost 9? 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 5 is 10. 10 is greater than the 9. So I have to use the 8, so 2 times 4. Write the number directly above the number you divided into it. So we write it above the 9. In the second step, the mom in this family told us to multiply. So I have to multiply the divisor by the first number in the quotient. So 2 times 4 equals to 8. Write your answer directly under the 9 or the number you just divided into. After applying the second step, now we have to subtract. Draw a line under the 8, write a subtraction sign next to the 8, subtract 8 from 9, write your answer directly below the 8. So here we have to subtract 8 from 9, we will get 1. 9 minus 8 equals to. After subtracting, I have to bring down the next digit in the dividend. So here we go to the next number in the dividend to the right of the 9. Write an arrow under the 4, bring the 4 down next to the 1. Now we have 14. Since we brought down another digit from the dividend, we have to repeat all the steps in the long division. There's another way to know if I have to repeat or to write the remainder. If the number obtained is greater than the divisor, I should repeat all the steps in the long division. Now I have 14. I have to divide the new number obtained by the divisor. So here we divide 14 by 2. Ask yourself, how many 2's do I need to get 14 or almost 14? 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 7 is 14. So I have to use the 7. So write the answer in the quotient. So you write the 7 in the quotient next to the 4. Now I have to multiply my divisor by the new number in the quotient, which is 7. So 2 times 7 equals to 14. I have to place it directly under the 14. In this step, I have to subtract 14 minus 14. 14 minus 14 equals to 0. After you subtract, you have to bring down the next digit in the dividend. In this example, the next digit is the 7, so I have to bring down the 7. Since I brought down the 7, I should repeat the 5 steps of the long division process. And since the 7 is greater than the divisor, I have to repeat the 5 steps of the long division process. We go again. Since I brought down the 7, I should repeat the 5 steps of the long division process. So I have to divide the new number obtained by the divisor. So here we divide 7 by 2. Ask yourself, how many 2's do I need to get 7 or almost 7? 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 is greater than 7, so I have to use the 2 times 3. So write the answer in the quotient next to the 7. So I write the 3 next to the 7 in the quotient. Now again, we have to multiply our divisor by the new number obtained in the quotient. So here we now multiply 2 by 3. We get 6. We write it under the answer we brought down, under the number we brought down. In this step, you have to subtract 6 from 7. So 7 minus 6 equals to 1. Now, since there are no more numbers to bring down, you do not repeat the steps of division. The number left over 1 becomes the remainder. So the remainder represents the number left over. In this slide, I will be reviewing this example from the beginning. So I have 947 divided by 2. First, I have to decide how many digits should I use from the dividend. The first digit of the dividend is the 9. The divisor is less than the first digit of the dividend, so I have to take the 9 in the first step. Now I have to divide 9 by 2. Ask yourself, how many in 2's do you need to make 9 or almost 9? 4 2's. So 2 times 4 equals to 8. I place the 8 under the 9 and I subtract. 9 minus 8 equals to 1. Now I move on to the next digit of the dividend. I should bring it down next to the 1. Now I have 14. Since I brought down a number, I should repeat the 5 steps of the long division process. So, how many 2's do I need to make 14 or almost 14? 7. 2 times 7 equals to 14. I write this answer under the number 14. 14 minus 14 equals to 0. Now I have to break down the third digit of the dividend, which is the 7. Since I brought down a digit, I have to repeat all the steps in the long division process. So, how many 2's do I need to make 7 or almost 7? 2 times 3. 2 times 3 equals to 6. 7 minus 6 equals to 1. Now, how do you know that you have finished? Since there are no more digits to bring down, you have finished your long division process. So the final answer is 473 with the remainder of 1. You write R1 next to the quotient. What does R1 represent? The remainder 1, the number left over down. Here's another example. 753 divided by 6. Since the divisor is greater than the first digit of the dividend, we should only use one digit in the first step. So I have to take the 7 in the first step. Now, step 1, divide. How many 6's do I need to make 7 or almost 7? I only need 1 6. Step 2, I have to multiply. 6 times 1. 6 times 1 equals to 6. I have to place the 6 under the 7. Step 3, subtract. 7 minus 6 equals to 1. Step 4, I have to bring down the next digit in the dividend. So it's the 5. I bring down the 5. Now I have 15. Since I brought down a digit, I should restart my division process. How many 6's do I need to get 15 or almost 15? 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18. 18 is greater than 15, so I should use the 6 times 2. So I write the 2 in the quotient next to the 1. What's 6 times 2? It's 12. I write the 12 directly under the 15. Step 3, I have to subtract. 15 minus 12 equals to 3. Step 4, I should bring down the next digit in the dividend. So here I bring down the 3. Now I have 33. I should ask myself, how many 6's do I need to get 33 or almost 33? 6 times 5 is 30, 6 times 6 is 36. 36 is greater than 33, so I should use the 6 times 5, which equals to 30. So I write 5 in the quotient next to the 2. Then I should multiply. 6 times 5 equals to 30. I put the 30 directly under the 33. Step 3, I should subtract 30 from 33. So 33 minus 30 equals to 3. Now, since I have no more numbers to bring down from the dividend, and the final answer is less than the divisor, so I finished my long division process. So the final answer is 125 with the remainder of 3. Example 3, 8764 divided by 4. If you follow all these steps, you will get the final answer 2191. I want you guys to try to solve it alone. That's it for today, guys. I want you to review the 3 examples that are solved in this video. And please, if you have any question, don't hesitate to contact me. I hope you understood everything, and I hope to see you soon.